Welcome back to Mom's Sips and Tips, where we sip and tip.
Yes. Cheers. Cheers. Jessica's back. And I'm Julia.
I'm Maggie.
If you haven't seen us yet. So today, what are we talking about, guys?
We are talking about dating as a single parent and co-parenting with a non-biological parent. Did I say that right?
Yeah. I think that's good. Yeah.
You obviously have not
I don't
had
have a lot
experience with this, but that's okay. I'm sure you have questions.
No, I do. And I do have the perspective from somebody whose people have tried to set up with people with children. So I can add into that.
A matchmaker.
I knew myself when I was dating. I had been in a long relationship before my husband. And I, at that point, thankfully was self-aware enough to know that, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but I didn't want to date anybody with children because I didn't want to, sounds terrible.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't want to share our dating time with kids. I wasn't ready for kids. I didn't want to put somebody else through that. I knew that just wasn't a situation that was good for me at the time.
You knew what you wanted at the time.
Yeah, which I think is good, but as I'm saying it out loud, I'm like,
oh! You're self-aware.
Yeah, and you're not just dating the kids.
Yeah.
There is a mother behind that also, and you're dealing with whatever stuff they have left to deal with.
Yeah, that just wasn't something I was willing to personally take on. So I feel like that was okay for me. But
that was good for you, and you also didn't put someone else through that.
And that's because I did see somebody who did that, but we won't talk about that now. It still makes me angry, but whatever. Go ahead.
So, tell us about your dating experience, and I've share mine also, but like your dating experience as a single mom.
Well, I've been dating for a year and something. So it was pretty non-existent until he hit me up. But we went to school together, and I kept it from the kids for about 3 months, and then when I was sure that things were more than just dating, I introduced him. Well, 14-year-old called me.
At a restaurant.
At a restaurant. We went to go eat, and she was there with a friend, and I didn't know that she was eating at Red Robin. I thought she was eating at Olive Garden, and
They're so close together Jessica.
I know.
She probably walked into one and said, "The wait's too long. Let's go
to the other one."
Well, they were already sitting down at Red Robin, and me and him go to walk, and she jumps out of the booth and was like, "I got you," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, oops."
And she gave you the Inquisition right there in front of him.
I thought I was a teenager.
Yeah,
it was fun.
So no experience before this dating experience. You kind of turned it off, or
I mean, basically, I talked to like someone on the phone, but that was nothing really. It was like 2 weeks, and I just decided that after the divorce, I didn't have time for a guy. I didn't want to introduce anyone into the kids' lives. I wanted to be their constant stable, and
Was it something you had to sit and like have a conscious like conversation with yourself about to decide how you felt, or was it just like you were like, I'm just done, I'm just gonna?
Well, so I had been married twice, and so then I was divorced twice, and I just didn't want to put myself through that.
Okay, so some of it was self-preservation.
Yes.
Also. Okay.
Yeah, I was happy about myself.
Oh yeah.
Didn't want to, introduce anyone to the kids and have to worry about that, and I just wanted to let them know that they were my priority, but even though I'm still dating Adam, they're still my priority. It's just, he's in addition to it.
Yeah, and I have the opposite story because I had that every other week on my own.
Yeah, sorry.
I was out dating.
Yeah.
And I dated a lot. And I would wait a couple months before introducing anybody, but I did. And again, that goes back to the whole identity and feeling like, not feeling good by myself and wanting to have somebody. But, introducing someone else to your kids, and what is that going to be like, and how are they going to fit in the mix of like, do they help me as a parent? Do they stay out of it because they're not the parent? A lot of that.
Yeah.
And then when they tell you how to parent when they've never been a parent themselves.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Adam's never been a parent, but he's great at.
He loves children. That's my husband's best friend.
He's a big kid
loves
himself.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that's good.
But no, he's great about backing me on the kids and making sure that they respect me.
So he's not I'm gonna stay out of it, not my thing, but he's also not an overbearing
Right. Yeah. No, he makes sure that they're following through on the boundaries that I put.
That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So so when you're dating, which we live in a small-ish town, so everybody knows it's hard to date here. I don't we can all attest to that. It's not the easiest.
I'm on a dating hiatus. So
yeah. So when you did you do like online dating? Did you just meet people through like recommendations through friends? Like, what did you?
I swore dating off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I just didn't want to, but I went to school with Adam, and I went to school with his sister, and he hit me up on Facebook.
Oh.
Started talking about Disney, and I'm a Disney fanatic. So.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I know, right?
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So when you start dating somebody, do you immediately lead in with "I've got kids"? Is that something that's an issue for you, or is that something that you just?
Well,
how does that go?
With him, yeah. I mean, I told him I got kids. I have 3.
You probably scrolled through
He already
your
knew.
pictures.
Oh, yeah,
I
he
was
did
gonna say, it's
dive in
kind of
my
easy
Facebook.
with social media, but I also think like going back to what we were saying before, I think that some people don't really understand if they haven't dated somebody with kids, the full scope of all that's
Oh yes,
involved with
yeah,
that.
and it was hard for me to accept it in the beginning of us dating because he didn't have any kids and I have 3. But at the time,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of an issue for you.
And I was raising my brother's kids as well. Me and my mom were, and that was right before he's been doing great. He's been amazing now. But when we first started dating, I had
6 kids.
Yeah.
Did you just think that he wouldn't understand like your just life in general?
Yeah, because my
just...
normal at the time looked different than most people's normal.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is what I got. This is me. So
yeah.
Have you kind
Take it or
of
not.
stand on the outside of yourself and try to look in at
Yes.
what the other person
Put
might
yourself
be
in their
thinking.
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not a good place. That's not.
Yeah, because you can't read their mind on what they're thinking.
No,
Yeah.
no, but you kind of go there.
Yeah.
He was a trooper.
I was gonna say, yeah, I could see that being scary for you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is that something that you've had an issue with? I know you said you didn't date a whole lot in the past. So, I mean, would you start dating someone and did you ever have not an issue, situation where maybe they were like, oh, never mind, or got into it and maybe they were like, this is harder than I thought? Or?
So after my first divorce, I was 21. And so my mom actually would help, and she would watch she was 18 months old then. She would watch her at night, and I would, go to the bar and hang out with friends. And I was more of, because I never introduced anyone to my kids except for, well, obviously my second husband.
Yeah.
And then Adam. I never introduced them, so I was more of, I didn't want anything serious. We're just going to hang out and have fun, and then that turned into my husband.
Yeah. It's life without how,
Yeah, so I didn't really date much. I've always just been more hands-on with the kids. Like, that's my life. I didn't really date much.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Maggie? How was it when you would try? Because I know y'all were similar ages, and it sounds like as far like
Yeah, I did a little bit of the bar dating. I did a lot of online dating, and some of that was chit-chatting online while I had my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it made it a little bit easier because I could do it from home.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of safety concerns with that, especially with the people you hear about that are on the internet, and those people are using dating sites to find moms and dads that have kids, and so
dangerous.
that's
Really?
Yes. And so you don't just want to
Is
not
that like a child molester?
yes,
All kinds of stuff.
all kinds of stuff. So you don't want to just
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
So it's not just protecting your kids from someone that may not be in their life 3
Full
months
time.
down the road, but you're also screening people
Yeah.
who for
Could be
addictions
potentially
and
dangerous,
potentially
yeah.
dangerous
I've heard of the hashtag. Like, I don't hashtag any of my personal photos, like with hashtag baby or hashtag baby boy, because I heard that that's like like sickos go online and like look at,
it's dangerous.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Scary. Oh, I could never get divorced now.
So, but you know, I come from a single parent household also, and my mom dated while we were kids, and you know, the same thing. I mean, they rolled through, and we met him for a few months. And
now, did that change, seeing that from your perspective as a child, did that change how you dated and did things as a parent?
I think because I was so young when I got divorced, I mean, and where my mind was, it didn't until later in my dating that I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing what my mom did type of a thing. And not that there was anything necessarily wrong, but you know, you're meeting someone for several months and then they're not there anymore.
That's hard.
All of a sudden.
As a kid,
and there is no goodbye, and there is no,
they're just gone.
They're just gone. And I did that with my kids also. It's like, you're not in my life, you're not my kid's life. Like, yeah.
See, mine's opposite. I grew up in a single parent household, but my mom didn't date anyone until I was 17.
Oh, was that hard then?
It was my normal.
Oh, but I mean, when she started dating, did that make you?
I met them.
Was that hard since you had never had to like?
Oh,
I was gonna say, I didn't know if you felt weird like having to share your mom then, or
no. I was happy for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hooked them up, and he's actually still in my life. They're still. They don't live together. It's a different type of relationship, but it's whatever works for them.
Yeah.
Like he lives with his mom. He helps out with her because she has cancer.
Yeah.
And then my mother is a very strong, independent woman. So she lives by herself, and that's how they work their relationship.
That's how my mother-in-law was with her. We say it's a stud. They were boyfriend and girlfriend for like 25 years. That's like a stud.
Yeah, that's how they are. They've been together since I was 17.
But that just worked for them. I had several clients who were that.
That's
they just didn't want to live with them. They were like, I love them, but I just don't want. I just don't want that.
Ways.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing, like, you know, I kind of did what my mom did, and you kind of did. I mean, what your mom did.
Yeah.
That's where you're like, well, this is my new normal, and I'm gonna do it on my own.
She told me right after the divorce from the kid's dad, she told me, don't do what I did. Don't stay single until they're grown.
Really?
Live your life. Yeah.
Did she say why?
She told me that she wished she would have lived her life.
So you could see that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Growing up.
Yeah.
But I was still like, nope, not happening.
I'm man hating right now.
Right? It took me about 4 years, but yeah.
Well,
just looks different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, after 20 years, even though I've been dating and I've been remarried, like, I almost wonder if I'm, like, too independent at this point, where it's like, I'm so used to doing everything by myself that I almost won't let anybody help me.
Yeah, it's hard to let go.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, after being, you know, on your own like that for so long, that would
I
be
don't
hard
know
to
how
give
to
up.
be in a partnership.
Oh. Do you think it's a control thing, or you just are just so used to it at this point?
Both.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
You know what you like, and
Yeah.
you know how to get it done.
You just have to meet the match that kind of fits in with that.
Yeah.
You give a little, he'll give a little, and then it'll be, you know?
Yeah, and he's so mellow. He goes with everything. So
Yeah.
he's like, whatever.
Yeah, he is super mellow.
Sorry.
But as my kids got old enough, like, they almost had input on, like, who I was dating.
Yeah.
And, like, almost like my blind spots that I had, like, they
could see them.
Yes.
No way. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, other friends and family will too, but, like,
kids are number one.
If your kids are saying it, it's different than your mom saying it, right?
Oh, yeah, I bet you take that more to heart when you're like, oh, whoa, okay, crap. Let's cut that one out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had several conversations with the kids after they got to know Adam, and he was more involved with our day-to-day life and stuff like that, especially before we bought the house.
Because they just moved in together.
Yeah.
Because y'all would just do, like, weekends or stuff like that, and then, like, random stuff during the week, right?
Yeah, okay. Basically. Or we would go out to dinner, like, every day, but when he wasn't working. But, yeah, so before we moved in together and bought the house, I talked to the kids several times and was like, all right, now it's time
we're
to
in
be.
this. Yeah.
What are you comfortable with? Is this what you want?
That's nice that you
Yeah.
asked them how they felt about it.
They were all for it.
And now you're co-parenting
Yeah.
with a non-biological parent.
Yeah. Yep.
So tell us about that.
It's good. I mean, he doesn't discipline them, but he has that man voice. It's different than a mom voice. But so he backs me up and just reminds them of what I said, or if they're getting sassy.
Well, because you said Maddie, her youngest, loves Adam, like has him wrapped around that little finger.
Oh yes.
So
yeah.
she knows how to work that.
Yeah, she does. Yes. One time we went to Walmart and she asked if she can have a toy. She's really into the mystery toys, you know.
Oh, like the things you unwrap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you unwrap and then it's
like those Kinder toy or whatever.
Kinder toys. Yeah, but it's like LOL dolls, but different. Like they have so many different toys that are you will be. And they're like $12-15 a piece. Yeah, so he was like, sure, pick out whatever you want. And you know, the scooters, he was in the scooter. No, he was driving the motorized scooter.
He would be driving the motorized scooter.
And she turns around and she has about 4 or 5 of them. He's like, okay, you can get them all.
Didn't she also, for his birthday, buy him toys that she wanted?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I think she's smart. I don't.
Right?
I mean,
I've seen husbands that do that.
Yeah.
Yes. They are big kids.
Yeah. It's like my husband will come home and be like, I bought you this ice cream. I don't eat dairy.
You could try it.
Yeah, and he'll be like, you could have a bite, or he'll get me non-dairy free ones in flavors that I do not like at all. And I'll be like, that's not actually for me. And it'll be gone the next day. I'm like, where's my ice cream?
My sister's husband bought her a motorcycle and a skateboard
Oh, that's
for her
awesome.
birthdays. Yeah.
Oh, I would have been like, where's my real present?
You can have this one.
Yeah, now where's mine?
Yes.
So he backs you up.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. As far as like asserting like rules or punishment or anything like that, like
example would be, you know, we've been in the house now for 3 weeks and my son has not been wanting to unpack his stuff. He's been wanting to unpack and play with his stuff, not, you know, put his clothes up where they go, or his room is just 10-year-old room full of boxes that we haven't been able to unpack. And this weekend we told him, was it Thursday night, Friday night, something like that, if you don't get up there and clean your room, put the things where they go, because we were going to the dump Saturday morning, whatever's not put up is going to the dump.
Did y'all actually do that?
No.
Oh.
You threaten it.
Yeah, I say he listened, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's, you know.
But if you're watching this video, she would have done it.
I would have done it. I did I didn't throw the stuff away one time, and I learned that through therapy, because it was really hard. Through my therapist and his therapist told me, because we had the same thing at the other house. He wasn't cleaning his room. I tried shutting the door. I tried taking everything away, and finally I did. I took everything away, put them in garbage bags, put it in the barn. I didn't throw it away.
Oh.
He got it back.
Yeah.
After he did what he was supposed to do, and earned it.
I've done that when I've gotten really mad at my husband, because he leaves his socks everywhere. So I had 2 days where I threw them away. I found them and he was like, where are all my socks? And I was like,
In the trash.
now you know, because you're going to edit this. But I haven't done it since, because I was like, that's kind of mean.
I do have a tip for room cleaning with the kids.
Oh, yeah. I want to hear it.
And I mean, even adults. Sometimes when you look at the room and you're like seeing a piles of laundry on the floor and toys and the bed's unmade, and so they don't know where to start. Sometimes I don't know where to start.
Yeah,
So
it can be
something's
overwhelming. Yeah.
So giving them a list or saying, first I want you to put all the dirty laundry in the laundry basket.
Yeah.
And then you come and check. Okay, now I want you to pick up all the toys and put them in the toy basket. So that it's not, they're just
So
focusing
overwhelming.
on one thing and it's not so overwhelming. And I know that's a lot, but
Yes.
some kids need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a
I know
good
I
tip.
need
It
that.
is.
I mean, that's how I manage myself.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
make
hard.
lists.
Yeah, when I see my desk, I'm like, okay, I'm only gonna focus on getting the bills into one spot or whatever. So
I'll do that now too. Otherwise, I'll literally bounce back and forth between
yeah.
like 4 rooms. So I'll be like going to laundry,
I got
and I'm like,
cleaning
oh, well,
ADD.
there's something here, and now I'll have to go put it in another room. And I'm like, oh, well, there's a mess
do that
there,
too.
and I'm like, oh, so now I won't leave the room. And like you're saying, I do the one thing. Otherwise, I'll end up everywhere.
And I do that too. If I'm not focusing on something, I do that. I take something to one room and then I find something in that room that needs to go to another room, and I'm all over the place and nothing gets done.
Yeah, and the house is still dirty.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend too that she told me her husband, because she used to get really overwhelmed with laundry, and she finally told her, he was like, do one load, wash it, dry it, put it up, then do another one, so that you don't feel like you're like so overwhelmed with something that just keeps coming. And I've started doing that, and I feel like that is helpful. Otherwise I would end up with a giant mound of, you know, now wrinkly clothes that would still not get put. It really does help. Or sometimes I'll do where I'm like, I can handle 2 loads in this amount of, and I'll do that and put it up. But
so nothing is left in the washing machine for a week.
Oh, yeah, you have to restart it 3 times.
Yeah, and then it's extra clean.
Yeah,
yeah. No, I feel like that's helpful.
You have to add a wet towel and a dryer sheet
to get the wrinkles out. Yep.
Yeah. Done that.
Yes.
Those are tips.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yes.
So do you have anything else that you'd like to say about like co-parenting with the non-biological parent?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's very, very easygoing, but like with Caleb, I told him he had to have a conversation with him, letting him know, because he doesn't want to replace their dad. He just wants to be their friend. And he knows that there's a difference. And that once he had that conversation with Caleb, he was fine.
Do you feel like it made your son feel more respected in their relationship, or
more secure?
Okay. Well, that's probably a better word. Secure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more secure in their relationship. So they're the only boys in the house. So he's definitely came around. Like, he loved Adam in the beginning, and he still does, because they like to play video games. And then, you know, that's when their dad started coming around a lot more and getting them unsupervised. So I think for Caleb, he felt like maybe he was not necessarily betraying his dad, because he was starting to rebuild that bond, but conflicted because he was already so close to Adam. Yeah. And so I think once he had that conversation with him of, dude, I'm not trying to replace him. You know, we can just be buddies. It was easier for him to be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, that in a 10-year-old mind, maybe he didn't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. And then with talking with Adam about, I've never really had to talk with him about other than, you know, he's like, I'm not going to spank the kids. I'm not going to discipline. That's my place. He'll just back me on it.
Yeah.
And I've never had to really tell him, hey, tell him to do something, because he's
like, it's okay to say no. It's
it's okay to say no. I mean, with Maddie, because she's got him wrapped. He's coming around now and telling her no more often, because she's very sassy.
Well, she's sweet too. I can see.
Oh, she's so sweet. Yeah.
In his role, how that would be. You know, she's just very lovable.
She is.
And I don't necessarily think that that's just like a stepdad thing or a new dad thing, but like, I mean, because some dads are like that with their kids.
Yeah. I think it's just
they don't want to be the disciplinarian. They don't want to say no. They don't want to be. They want
the bad guy.
Yeah.
Now, did your ex-husband have a hard time when you started dating your boyfriend now? Was there any weird things that you had to iron out with that? Or was it just kind of like a natural?
He, in the beginning, because things got said and twisted that Adam spanks the kids and he's never laid a finger on them. So in the beginning, that was a conversation that we had to have, as, you know, he's the parent and he's the dad and I'm the mom, me and Jake. But once we had that conversation, I mean, he's been,
Everything was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did him and Adam ever like interact at all, or is that mainly just left for you?
No, in the beginning, because, you know, he had to have supervised visitation, we would all go out to dinner. So Adam and me, and
that's nice.
And then him and his now wife, we would go out to dinner and go to the skating ring and show the kids it's okay. You don't have to pick sides.
Yeah,
we can all get
along
in
it together. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, there's never really been any animosity or anything like that.
Yeah. And you said that your ex's new wife has always been really good about being, because you said that she was divorced with a child too, so she kind of understands some of the
Boundaries,
issues that kind of come up.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever had to talk about, like, iron anything out, or is that always, like you said, just because she kind of knows? It's always been very natural.
She's just always known. There's never been any, hey, that's not your place, or that's, no, she's always been really great about it, and she's been very helpful with Maddie, like when they take her and stuff. Because, you know, Maddie's 4.
Do you have any tips for someone who's, like, becoming a new mom, like, I mean, a new stepmom, of things definitely either to do or not to do, for someone who maybe doesn't know what, you know, they're just getting into it and they don't know, you know, what's their place and what isn't, and maybe their partner isn't good about telling
Explaining
them.
them?
Yeah.
So, like, if I were to be a new stepmom, what I would tell them, respect the biological parent's role. Just be a partner in it.
Yeah.
You know, ask them what is okay and what's not okay. But she kind of already knew that because she's mom.
done it before.
Yeah, she's done it before. But just someone that doesn't really have anyone to explain it to them, just respect their role and don't try and replace the biological parent.
Okay.
Let them know you're just there as extra support, extra love.
So
I second that.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
so you tell them to still be a parent. I don't know if I would understand that. Like, do you, like, because you still want them to parent, but
Yes.
not to, like, take over, like, not to take over
Not
the
to
big
take
things.
over.
or-
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the big things that like really hurt my feelings was not only that did my kid's stepmother, like, they wanted my kids to call her mom.
Oh yeah. No.
And then when it was time for my daughter to get her first bra, like, she took her before I could. So
Yeah.
those are some of the things that it's like, you know, think about
that you need to
how
reserve
you
that.
would feel.
if it was your child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, on the
Yeah.
other side of that, as the biological parent, I also, you know, as some tips on my side was like, because our divorce was so new, I was still very, like, too much involved with their dad, and while they were dating in the beginning of their marriage, and that automatically put her on, like, a defensive with me too. So you know, I had to learn my place also.
Yeah.
That he is no longer
I didn't
my
think
husband.
about that. Yeah. That would
You don't
He
have
is
any
not
ties to that
available-
person
yeah, He
anymore.
is not available to me 24/7 anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so there was a lot of growing pains for us to learn how to co-parent.
Yeah. That would be
respectfully.
hard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I would have a hard time with that. I would. I really would.
I tell a lot of people, like, really, you know, the grass is not greener.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Yeah.
not. I mean, there are definitely some circumstances where divorce is necessary, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not greener.
Yeah. No, I gave it my all.
Yeah.
But so that way, not necessarily so, oh, I told you I did what I could, but I did what I could for myself, knowing that everything I did was,
We
I
never
gave
want
it
to
my
look
all.
back and be like,
Regret
oh, well,
it.
what if I had done this, or I wish I had maybe tried this, and then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think it's a bad thing that you know, Angie learned a lot from it.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, that's,
Yeah.
you know, worth its weight in gold in itself. So.
It sounds like, for the most part, you guys have a healthy thing going. I mean, even though there's always going to be issues when you've got divorce and that kind of stuff. And they're going to come up, even when you think you got one thing ironed up, something new.
Something new comes up.
But it sounds like the way you guys have got things going,
Working
with
on it.
open
Yeah.
communication and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely working on it.
So,
Yeah.
so when you guys are doing those big things like the bra shopping or whatever it is with the, I don't know what's the big thing for a boy, but
Caleb's not really at it, but like a couple weeks ago during his, because he gets unsupervised visitation for like during the day on the week, every other weekend or whenever he's available, so he's not working. They took Caitlin, she's 14, she has a semi-formal coming up, 8th grade semi-formal.
yeah.
And they took her to go buy a formal dress, which was perfectly fine. We talked about it, and I was okay with it because they were sending me videos of the dresses for
So
me
you were
to
involved.
approve. I was still involved.
So talk about it beforehand. find something that makes you both comfortable. Is it, would you say it's good to invite either the step parent or the mom or dad, whoever it is that's involved, to say, I really would like to do this with so-and-so? Maybe if you're talking to the like you're the step parent.
Yeah.
You know, can I do this, or could I maybe
Can
be
we make
a
it a
part
girls'
of
day and do
this,
it together?
Is that something, or is that
Yeah.
something that you don't think is acceptable
If
to
they
ask?
get along.
I think like bottom line is like communication.
Yes.
Is you have to have the ability to communicate with your exes, with your current co-partner, you know.
Have either of y'all ever been in a situation where you had to try and co-parent with somebody who wasn't willing to be respectful of your feelings?
Yes.
That you want to?
Even now, I prefer just to put everything in text.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because that way things can't be twisted or misunderstood. It's in black and white.
Yeah.
Like, I just put it in text of whatever is going on, whether why I took the phone or why I didn't take the phone.
Oh, there's no questions.
There's no questions, or, you know, consistency is a big thing. So we're working towards him possibly getting the kids overnight. We have not done that yet, but that is, to me, you got to have consistency. So I just repeatedly say that in text for the kids. That's what I need. But because when you talk on the phone, especially dealing with the other person on however they are, and only you know how that person is or what they can push buttons, it's easier to think about what you're saying through
When you have a
text.
moment
You
to-
take a minute to process it instead of just flying off and
Yeah. And you have to stick with facts. It's not.
You can't
Yes.
always put your feelings into it. I
Yes.
could see that. That
Yeah.
would be hard.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, for anyone, if there's any like legal reasons you need to have something right now, put it in an email, because in some states, things that you text are not admissible into court. Just FYI. Random Google thing that I.
that you learned.
Yes. So something,
Yeah.
a tip for you if you're in like a middle of a divorce or something where you need.
And for me, I probably, just because I know how I can read into text, because people try to make them as short and concise as possible, I'd
Yeah.
probably rather have an email.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
That way it's documented and I have a little more to go with.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes I do think with text too, it's even like hard. Like I overuse exclamation marks. Like everything is like it's like 3 exclamation, and I look at.
I'm so excited.
I was texting a friend and she was asking me for a favor, and I texted back and was like, I can't give you a yes right now, but I'll let you know. But everything, like, she responded back like I think she thought I was upset that she asked me, but it's just because I exclamation mark everything, so it looked that way. So
Yeah.
something else would be cognizant of is
Watch
your
your-
use of punctuation.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing about text is like when you're used to having that kind of contemptuous relationship with someone, even if it's you meant it like super sweet,
Yeah.
they're gonna
the
read
tone
it
can be.
in that tone that they're used to
To
hearing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I tried to keep it very factual.
yeah.
You know, like, this is why, this is what's going on. If you want to join a therapy session, or if you want to go wherever, this is the
Parent-teacher
time and
conference,
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you both either had your boyfriends or whatever do therapy sessions with your kids too, or is that something that's like off limits?
I mean, it wouldn't be off limits for Adam to join if he wanted to, but
Yeah.
it's not really
Not, like, needed right now.
Yeah, it's not needed right now, which, I mean, that's not to say in the future it would be, but yeah, I mean, there's no really point for him to join the kids' conversations right now, unless if
But it would be an
They
open
need it. Oh,
thing
yeah.
if it was maybe needed as they get older
yeah,
and
yeah, definitely.
turn into lovely teenagers.
Lovely teenagers.
I only say that because I was terrible, so I remember.
Right? I remember what it was like.
Yeah. And something that you may or may not have run into yet, and maybe you'll never run into it, is, you know, because there's another home, when there's something going on in this home, it's like, I'm going to move with my parents.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
My dad or
Do
my
they
mom
say
or
that?
whatever.
That would make me so sad.
I said it to my mom when I was a teenager, and my daughter did.
Did that just sting?
Not
like,
to me, but to the other parents. So
I think that would be
it's
worse.
just yeah.
Yeah.
That would
They
make
do
me
that.
cry. That would make me cry.
Yeah, my daughter said one time, and then, like, she took it back right away. She's like, I didn't really mean it.
You know.
I think the equivalent is when your kid tells you that they hate you.
I said that
yes.
I never did.
I did it to my dad one time. I 100% remember the day, like it was like I can go back and it's like I'm still there because I still feel bad about it. I was like 17 and I said I hate you, and he looks at me, and my dad's, he's so sweet, and he starts crying and he goes, "Do you really hate me?" And I started crying. I was like, "No, I don't. You just made me so mad." Oh, but I still feel bad. Like that's like a big regret. So kids, if you're watching this, don't say that.
Don't say that.
Don't say stuff you don't mean. You can't take back words. That's so hard.
Yeah.
That would break my heart though. If Bobby said that to me, I would die. Get emotional. Or the vodka.
Or the vodka.
Well, I think
And the
this
weeding hormones.
could probably be 20 days long.
Oh, I know. We keep talking forever for sure. So I'm so glad you joined us again. This has been fun. Any closing tips or tricks that you have?
Think about what you say before you say it.
Oh, yeah.
And go with the flow.
Count to 10.
Count to 10. Yeah.
Take a walk to the mailbox.
Yeah. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes of, how that would make you feel.
Yeah, definitely.
So that there's no hurt feelings. So, okay, cool. Well, you guys, you should like this video and subscribe to our channel, and like us on Instagram. We're on Facebook as well. Like us there. And we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.